Good morning. Welcome, everybody. Today we're going to do a nice 25-minute session. It's going to be an energizer. We're going to start standing, and I've got my chair here. We're going to take the chair to our practice or into our practice after a while. But just come and find yourself standing. I hope you can see me. If you feel that you like to have some music on the background, I don't do it because I'm taping this. But if you like to have some music on the background, you can just put something on as long as you can hear me. And maybe it's a good idea to turn off your phone or your WhatsApp and email messages. And then just come and stand with your feet just hip width or maybe a bit wider. And we're just going to come on to the toes on an inhale and exhale, just come down. Just come up a couple of times. Just notice whether you can find a bit of balance. Maybe you can hold it for a moment, and it can be quite challenging. So you can see that I'm coming onto the balls of my feet, and then I lift my toes up. And just keep on moving for a moment. I do it a little bit faster sometimes. It's all about finding my own balance as well. I'm not a specialist in this, but you can just do it a couple of times. And I come back to a normal standing position. Just start bending your knees a little bit. And you can just do it a little bit faster. And at one point, I'd like you to get into this kind of motion. It's just letting your shoulders bounce up and down. And another thing I'd like you to integrate into this practice, this is really good to activate your whole body, to get into every cell. The whole body is consisting out of 70 or way more than that percent of water. So you can just have the idea that it's all just starting to move a little bit, but it's even better when you do it with your breath. So just breathe in and exhale, just to activate the body and let it connect and communicate with each other. Breathing in and out. And just keep on moving. You can start to use your hands as well. Just shake them out. And this is all going to generate some heat. So you're going to get a little bit warmer. Maybe you can close your eyes. Just keep on moving. So it's really not about how long we do this, but just to be in this movement. Breathing in through the nose, maybe breathing out through the mouth. And then you can start to shake your hands above your head as well. So you don't have to get your heels off the floor or jump off the floor, but you just keep your feet on the mat and bend your knees. And all right. And then start moving the arms a little bit from side to side or open up like this. Maybe stop bouncing and just, or maybe just a little bounce. I just notice that everything I do, I just intuitively move into it and just bending your knees when you bring your arms forwards and all stretching yourself when you take your arms to the outside. And then finding a rhythm again. As long as you keep that breath alive or stay aware of your breath. Just opening up the chest, the shoulders. So I found my rhythm here, so maybe you have a different rhythm, and that's fine. You have to find your rhythm. And then come a little bit wider with your feet. And we just start to swing, so we keep on moving. And we start to tap with our hands on the front here, on the chest, and the other hands on the back, which is where the kidneys are. And again, it's a very loose movement. And if you look at my feet, you can see that my heel turns out And you just find a nice rhythm here. Again, just notice what is the most easy way to move. And we can even change this. And this is more of the masculine version where you turn your heel out. But you have another one as well. They call it more the feminine version. But we have the masculine and feminine all inside of ourselves. So it doesn't matter. You can just do both exercises. And just notice how this feels. Just keep on moving. That's the power of repetition. It's not beneficial if you just do it 2 or 3 times. So you just have to keep on moving. If this is not the one that you like, but you like to do your heel out, then you can do that one. Just a couple more times. All right, coming back to the middle, and then take your hands to your head. And we're just going to massage our temple area next to our, or just above our ears. And with your fingertips, you can just make little circles. And then go over the back of your head, maybe towards the edge or the ridge of your skull, but also next to your ears. And maybe you can even use your peace fingers and go one in front and one on the other, on the back of your ear. Just slide up and down. Now I've got my ear pods in, but you can gently start to massage with your index finger and thumb your ear, that shell, and just maybe even put a finger in your ear, pull it, and with your fingers slide over the back of your neck. You can even, with your fingers, just clamp them on one side of the neck muscle and then on the other side, and just move back and forth a little bit. I can imagine that you maybe have some tension in the neck of working behind the computer, and that this is a nice way to just massage it. Something you can do whenever you are in need of it. This is just an exercise that you can repeat when you're alone, when you're working. Now let's bring those hands towards the neck. You can just massage it like this. And let's not forget the face. Just with your forehead or with your fingers, go over the forehead and just massage it, and just go back and forth, up and down, from left to right. Maybe with your fingers, go over your eyebrows and just make a nice movement towards the outside. You can even, with your fingertips, hold on to your eyebrows, just squeeze them. And like we do when we are young, but maybe we do it still, like to get the sleep out of our eyes. Especially when you're looking at a screen, a computer screen, this can be very nice for the blood circulation. Going alongside your nose, over your jaws, and the ridge of your jaw. All right, so let's take the right hand and bring it to the left shoulder. And again, with those fingertips, you can hook them on top of your trapezius and just start to move it. You can go even more back. You can squeeze it with the whole hand. You can let your head go a little bit towards the right, just to make a bit of a stretch here for your muscle. And your fingers can just hook in it or behind it. And some of you might think this is a bit painful. If that's the case, then maybe you need to do it more often, so that you can get more blood to that muscle. And let's work the shoulder. With the right hand, you can, especially with your thumb, but also with your fingers, of course, you can just use the whole hand to work that deltoideus from the front, the sides, the back. And then slowly we go towards the back of our upper arm, the triceps. And just place your fingers again, you hook them into that muscle. Maybe you can make your hands turn out. And let's squeeze that biceps as well, just to get the blood flow going again. Slowly going towards your elbow. And there's all these attachments here, so they might be a little bit more, how do you say that, sensitive. And you can just decide for yourself what kind of pressure you want to give. But let's see whether we can work on that. If you look at your thumb and you go up towards your elbow, and that big muscle, there's a couple of muscles here which you can work, especially RSI related complications are often felt here in this area. And you can just move your hands. I can place my fingers on top of this muscle and then with the other hand, just move it out. So I'm rolling underneath my fingers. And then you can just move your hand a little bit. Maybe just use your thumb for a moment and just squeeze it. Again, this is something that we can do whenever we have time for it, yeah? Or when you've been working for a couple of hours without breaks, and just go to this exercise, for example. All right, and when we've come to the wrists, with your thumb, you just stretch it out over the inside of your wrist towards your fingers. And when you stretch it and slide all the way to your finger, you can push that finger back. Maybe just wait there and feel that stretch. And then do the other one. We just slide back and forth a couple of times and then go to the ring finger. Press it back all the way towards the tip of your finger. And I felt a little crack, or I heard it, but there's nothing wrong with it. As long as you don't try to look for it all the time. Just a crack can happen. And slowly work every finger independently. And another nice one that you can do is just to hold on to that finger and just pull and squeeze it one by one. Can be really nice, huh? All right, and then take the left hand towards your right shoulder blade. Again, just find your breath, relax your face, your jaws. Just going back and forth over that muscle here. And then slowly we work our way down towards the head of our shoulder, the deltoid or deltoideus. And I notice that I'm doing this movement with my right hand or arm even, just rolling it out, well, from the palm down, rolling it up. And whilst doing that with the left hand, I can just massage the upper arm or any kind of muscle really that I want to focus on. And you don't always have to do it. Sometimes you can just keep your arm still or just move it a little bit. Maybe with your fingers go into the triceps at the back of your upper arm. But when you notice that there's an area that really feels a bit more tense or painful, then that often is an area that you could, work on a little bit longer. So it's not something that you should stay away of, but something that you should give more attention. And maybe you can build it up slowly. Another area that is really nice is at the inside of your lower arm. Can be a lot of tension build up there. So just squeezing it, massaging it, any kind of way that feels good to you. And then slowly towards the wrists. And let's work on each finger independently again. Just stretching it out, press that thumb against the tip of your finger, pull it all the way back, or press it all the way back. Just wait for a second to really feel that stretch before you go to the next finger. Sometimes you hear a crack, it's fine. Now maybe just hold on to each finger and pull and squeeze a little bit. All right, interlace your fingers, press your palms out. Inhale, open up your chest. And then we're going to gently roll forward and down. So you're going to maybe keep your knees slightly bent. Now let's place the hands on the shins. And on an inhale, you press your hands into the shins and you lengthen from the lower back, look forwards. And on the exhale, you can keep those knees bent. That's perfectly fine. Exhale, forward towards your shins. Again, place the hands on the front. Inhale. And exhale, bend forward. Inhale. And exhale, bend forward. So let's place the hands on the floor and start to swing. Just make such circles, half circles. And looking to the left of the mat, to the right. If you notice something in your buttocks or your lower back, just move mindfully. Keep on breathing. Relax your jaws. Coming back to the middle. And we're going to start moving in a certain way. Let's bend the left knee and place the left fingertips on the floor. I always use only 3 fingers. The ring, middle, and index finger. Now bend the left knee and see whether you can straighten the right leg a little bit. Now pull your belly in, open up your chest a little bit more to the front, and then take your right shoulder up. Take your right hand up if you can. Straighten the right leg even more, keep the left knee bent, breathe in, pull your belly in slightly, look past your right shoulder to the ceiling. And on an exhale, slowly bend both knees, switch hand position, and then start to lean into the right. Straighten the left leg. Maybe you want to move the left leg a little bit further out. So sometimes it helps. Take the left shoulder up, pull the belly in. Maybe take your left hand up, lean into your right foot. Keep stretching the left leg. Breathe in. And we're going to move back and forth. So exhale. You gently come down, bend both knees. Then left hand on the floor, straighten the right leg. Inhale, the right hand goes up. Pull the belly in, straighten the right leg. And exhale, slowly come down. And then on an inhale, straighten the left leg. Keep the right knee bent. Right, left hand goes up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, right hand goes up. Exhale, go down. Inhale, left hand goes up. Just a couple more times so that you can really feel that there's a motion here. Exhale. So you notice that there's a little break, so we're going to do it a little bit longer. Exhale, wait at the end of your breath, then inhale. Wait on the top. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Now place your hands onto your shins again. Inhale, lengthen, press your hands into the shins. Exhale, bend forward. Now sit deep. Inhale, take your hands up. Keep your knees bent. Exhale, bring your hands behind you. So just brush them off. Interlace your fingers, straighten your legs. Then bend your knees again. Inhale, bring your hands up. Keep your knees bent. And exhale. Just breathe out through your nose. Just listen to the sound of your breath. And you find your version here. Eh? You don't have to do it exactly the way I do. As long as you keep your breath alive, you keep your knees bent, you sit a little bit deeper, maybe pull the navel in whilst taking the hands up. Exhale. Last time, breathe in. And then stand up whilst taking your hands down. And then you can just shake it out a little bit. And just notice the heat that you build up in your body. You can use your breath here. Just the last couple of shakes. All right, so just standing here with your eyes closed. I just notice how you feel right now. I'll keep your eyes closed for a little bit longer. Notice how your breath is deeper right now. Notice if you can feel any sensations in your body. Maybe you can just feel that you're getting warmer. Maybe you just notice that your breath is a bit higher, or at least a bit faster. Maybe on a more subtle level, you can feel other sensations moving through your body. Now let's open the eyes and let's take that chair, place it here in the middle, and you can just sit on it. All right. So we've done a couple of forward bends already. So I'm going to sit a bit wider with my feet out. And before we do anything else, we're just going to move into the upper body a bit more. So you can press your hand against the inside of your knee. And just to feel a little bit more space in the upper body. Coming back to the middle. I'm going to take those hands out. And then on the exhale, we're going to take the left hand underneath the right. And you can either just do this. You can bring that right hand all the way to the left and feel that stretch on the outside of your shoulder. And maybe for some of us, you can keep those elbows close together and you can bring the hands together. So now the left hand is holding on to the right thumb, or maybe the hand palms are exactly against each other. If I turn a little bit, you can see how it looks from the side. So either you just hold on with your left hand to the right hand and you just breathe into that stretch, or you take your hand palms together or hold on to that right thumb. Let's see whether we can take that elbow or those elbows a little bit higher. Press the hands forwards. Maybe if you come forward, you can feel a little bit more stretch on the back of your leg, or back in between the shoulders. Last couple of breaths here. Just breathing into it. Either sitting upright or maybe bending forwards. Coming up. So I always like to bring my hands a bit more to my face and then let go. And you can just move your shoulders up, back and down. All right. So if I go to the other side, so we first take our arms out, and then we're going to take the right hand underneath the left. So either you take that left hand all the way to the right, and you just work on that stretch and you stay here. Or if you keep those elbows together, this is a more challenging one for me. I can hold on to my thumb at least. See whether you can bring your shoulders down, your elbows up. So this is only for those who feel that they have enough space. Otherwise, you just bring that left arm to the right and your right hand supports by holding onto the shoulder. Now just notice the sensations, whatever version you're doing. Can you relax? Maybe close your eyes, relax your face. Breathe into that stretch. Stay calm. Last couple of breaths here. Maybe bend forward a little bit. And you can round the spine. So notice if you're not clenching your jaws. It's often that you are focused or tensing up and you clench your jaws. Try to relax them. Last breath here. And then come up, release. Making a couple of circles here. Maybe just holding your hands onto your knees and open up your chests. And on an exhale, round it, chin to the chest a couple of times. Breathe in and out. Another movement that you can easily do when you sit behind the computer for a long time. But do it with your breath. And try not to forget that we still have a breath going. And that it can be very beneficial to integrate with every movement that we make. On the next exhale, come and sit up. Let your chin drop to your chest. And the last movement here is to open up the neck a little bit further by breathing in when you go up via one shoulder and by breathing out when you go down via the other shoulder. And do it slowly so your breath can keep up. And maybe hold your head still in a certain angle if you feel that there's something going on there, that something feels a bit off. And then you can just stay there and breathe into it without judgment, without thinking anything else of it. You just notice or observe and you just breathe into it. And then continue your way when you think you're done. Breathing in when you go up, breathing out when you go down. And let's go to the other side as well. This might give a little bit of a different feeling. Maybe you have a preference for going up left and right down or the other way around. We're trying to even it out, to balance it out. Do it slowly, no matter if you hear all these cracks, it's quite normal, I can tell you. Now I feel it here just on the back of my neck, and I'm gonna stay here for just a couple more breaths. Coming back to the middle, and on an inhale, take your shoulders to your ears. As high as you can, hold it a little bit longer. And exhale, drop them down. Let's do it 2 more times. Breathe in. And out. Last time. Breathe in deep. Come and sit into your chair. Rest against the back. Close your eyes. Let your hands rest on your knees, your feet flat on the floor. And just notice how your breath is right now. Just a couple more before we finish this practice. And maybe set an intention for the rest of the day. And it could be something as simple as telling yourself to take those micro breaks, to do 1 or 2 of the exercises we just did today. And maybe to focus on your breath, and nothing more than that. You can open up your eyes if you're ready for it, or stay where you are. I want to thank you for joining and see you next time. Namaste.